Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome if you're new. Hi, my name is Sharron. We do lifestyle vlogs, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back to watch yet another video. We do lifestyle vlogs mostly, but today we're going to be doing a sit down video. Beginning of this year, I said that I was going to do 2 question and answer videos. So beginning of the year we did 1 video, and now we are going towards December, end of year. I thought let's do another Q&A. Think that we've also grown on this channel, and I think it would be nice for us to know each other. So we're going to be doing a Q&A. So I posted on my community tab so that you guys can send in your questions, and you did send in your questions. I only asked people on Instagram because on YouTube, because I felt like you're more interactive than my community on Instagram. So I've got a bunch of questions that you guys did send. I posted this community tab last night, and we have more than I think 20 questions here, which are good enough for us to make this video. So without wasting too much of your time, let's get into the questions. So I'm going to be looking down on my phone because I'm looking at the questions. So also I'm not going to be mentioning names because fear of butchering your surnames and some of your names. We're just going to be getting into the question. So first question is, any advice for a person wanting to move back to Zim? Like what to expect, what would be a decent household income to be able to afford life's basics, plus to my vibes here and there, LOL. So the first part of the question is, any advice for anyone who wants to move back home? I get this question asked a lot, and I think your experiences coming from outside are going to be very much different from what we are used to here. So I would say you're going to have a bit of a culture shock if you're coming from a developed country. Our family and friends will always say that the first year of coming back is the toughest year for them because you have to adjust to the environment. Our economy is not as functional as other economies, so there are things that you will need to do that you're not used to doing, but you have to do to survive Zimbabwe. So that's one thing that I would advise. Could come prepared, especially have a financial backup plan, have your savings in place, because you might come back and think, oh, we're going to start a business, or we're going to get into this, but those things, they take time, and during that time you need to have something that's providing comfort for you, especially finances. So that's what I would say. Good, save your money so that when you come here you're comfortable. Even when you're job hunting, you're not doing it out of fear, but you're doing it comfortably, and you settle in Jaganaka. And then answer what to expect. I think I've answered that. What would be a decent household income? Ooh, that's a tough question, because I don't know what kind of lifestyle you would lead, so I can't get into amounts, but I would say on a monthly basis, a standard, I can't even say a standard family because I don't know what other people are living like out there, but I'll speak for myself and say on groceries we spend about $350, $400 plus or minus. It depends. And then we have, of course, like medical aid, fuel, rents. So you just, break down everything depending on where you want to stay when you come back, where you want to shop when you come back, and things like medical aid, car insurance, all of those things are things you're supposed to consider. And I would advise that you do your research on that, so that by the time you come, could my monthly expenses ango agamira so. I think I've answered that to your satisfaction. If you have more questions on that, you can also just let me know in the comment section. Then we go on to another question from the same person. How do you stay in good books with your sibling? Again, I get this asked a lot. We communicate a lot, and we are very straight talkers. With my sister, I also have a brother, but you guys don't know him because he's barely on this channel. But I think all of us, is just a matter of communication. When something happens that you're not happy with, there's no need to bottle it up. It can be spoken about. You can speak about it there and then, and you move on. So I think that's a good way of maintaining, a good relationship with your siblings. Then another question: what went well for you this year? What didn't go well? Any lessons learned? Have you started on your New Year's resolutions. Love your content. Okay, so what went well for me this year? I want to say it's my work and how consistent I have been and how driven I have been. Specifically, I think on both sides of my career, both on YouTube and on the thrift store, I've showed up on those platforms every single week, and I can tell you that with consistency I've started to see the results and where we can go. So to answer your questions about resolutions and what I'm looking forward to next year, it's just more growth, because I feel like this year was more of, you know, building a foundation, and next year I have things that are certain place that hopefully we will grow again, without, you know, sharing too much on that topic. And then the New Year resolutions, I can say on YouTube, I think that's one thing I can share. I think next year I want to partner more with brands. I want to create more content outside of vlogs. I want to do, I think, things that challenge me as a creative. So we'll see how the year is going to go. And then we also go to another question. How do you balance your relationships between hubby's side and your own family side without spending more time or starving one side? To be honest, my husband's side of the family is not that big, neither is my side of the family. We have people that are close to, and I believe that we attend to those people when we are needed equally, and we show up both ends equally. It just comes easy. It's not something that we practice. I think earlier on in our marriage, it was just part of the package. So now it's just natural. You never feel like you're doing too much or you're doing less. Also, again, issue your communication. On my in-laws side, my tates, there's not a single person that I have bad blood with, but there are so many of them. But the thing is, they'll call me, they'll shout at me, I'll shout back, because that's our relationship. But we are very close, and again, communication. If they need something from me and I'm able to provide, we talk about it. I remember the first time earlier this year that I went to SA, the person, like I said, her name was my sister-in-law. She stayed with the kids. No, it was the second time when we went to PE. So they are always there to show up for us. The same with also my side of the family. So yeah. And then any tips for someone who wants to be a YouTuber? Me, I always say just start. Just start. If you start thinking about people who are going to laugh at you, who are going to laugh at the quality of your content, who are going to laugh at your English, you are not going to start. So what you need to do is to start vlogging, and don't just vlog. You vlog and you store that content in your phone. You're going to overthink it, you're going to overanalyze it, and you might end up not posting it. So what I would say is, if you want to get it to YouTube, first of all, if you can afford a good phone, it's a good place to start. So you get your good phone. When I say a good phone, I mean a phone with good camera quality, and then trying good camera lighting. You don't really need to buy, the lights, the mics. As you progress and as you grow on YouTube, then you can invest on those things. So my advice, just start, invest in a good phone, and be consistent while you're at it as well. And we go on to the next question, which is, who is your favorite Zim YouTuber? Like someone who really inspires you. There are so many people that inspire me from this country, and I've realized that I used to focus mainly on lifestyle content creators mainly, but I recently discovered this guy. I don't want to butcher his name. I don't know, Kevin or Kelvin Bidioti. He does videos on farming and just, the economy, Zimbabwe. And the first video that I discovered of him was when he went to Mbare. He was basically talking about how Mbare is a strong city on its own. It's a business hub. So he went there early in the morning, and the angles, the filming, the lighting, he's consistent. Also, I realized that he has managed to monetize the YouTube side of his business, which is something that really inspires me a lot. So that would be also another person. And also, I did a video on my favorite Zim YouTubers. You can scroll down, you will see those. And then we go on to the next question. What has been the highlight of your year 2024? Definitely the traveling, number one. Number two, I feel like I've grown business-wise, number two. And then, do you plan to have more kids? No, I do not. And then we go on to the next question. Would you do business with a stranger? I like your work ethic, passion, attention to detail. And if I'm to do anything with anyone, I feel like I could rely on you, Sharron. thank you very much. But I think it depends what kind of a business is it, because the question is, would you consider doing business with a stranger? I think if we have the right paperwork and if it's something I'm interested in, we can definitely talk about it. So hit me up. And then we go on to the next question. When other YouTubers, whether small, media, I think medium, or any, comment on your videos saying they are fellow, do you check them out? Yes, sometimes I do go and check out new people's channels, but sometimes, like specifically lately, I've just been so busy. I would like to engage more with people, but I've realized that I have a backlog of channels that I need to catch up with. Last night I slept very late because I was sorting out some new stock, and I slept around 12. And during that time, I was actually watching Chef Chamo, which I will link his channel in the description box below. I think he's based in Cape Town. And there's one guy who supports this channel very much. So I went to watch his videos as well. He's such a natural. It's such a natural, also very consistent. So I'm going to link his channel in the description box below. So I don't know if, also, I don't like the term small. What do you mean when you say small? What does that mean? Do you mean small in terms of numbers? Medium in terms of numbers? I don't know, but anyway, for me it's about the content that you create. If I connect to what you're sharing, if I can relate to what you're sharing, I'm definitely going to watch. And then need to start up my thrift business. Any advice? Ooh, I think the business is not if you're not in it, you will never know certain things. So I would also say start small. Go source what you need to source or what you think you need to source, but you can't do that also without, understanding your target market. So say for instance, my two days is tell you my two. So what do? You go to Mbari, you look for what my two might weigh, and you price your product in such a manner that my two will be able to purchase and support you. So I think target market, number one. Number two, do your research as well. Number three, get into it. You will learn everything you need to learn as you go. And then another question sent almost Shamunoyenda iri papi exactly. So I'm just going to translate that. She's basically asking, we usually go to St. Almost with the kids to play. Where is it? So the easiest way, guys, for you to find this place is if I mention any shop, any restaurant, go into your Google Maps, go into Google and Google St. Thomas. It's going to give you directions. It's going to give you the amount of distance, kilometers, for you to gauge Kutunoshka. But it's in Belgravia. If you know where Belgravia is, that's where the place is. But just search for the address, it should pop up, because currently there's only one branch. It is almost the other one they closed. So yeah. And then I like your choices, your dressing choices. How do you mix and match? I don't know. I think it just comes natural. Don't go by any decision based on what I have. I used to buy clothes a lot, and this year has been somewhat a slow year in that part of my life. I've not bought clothes as much as I would like to. So I just work with what I have. So for the day, I'll say today I want to wear my Adidas Sambas, and I'll build up an outfit based on that. So yeah. And then what courses did you pursue in uni, and how was the journey transitioning from that to business? So I went to the Midland State University. Funny thing is I got accepted in UCT, and I processed everything until I needed, to get the monies together. So I ended up having to settle for MSU because I didn't have money. And I feel like at the time, if I had waited for a year and applied for the presidential scholarship, I would have been lucky. But again, I didn't have enough support or knowledge of what I needed to do at the time. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to wait for a year. Let's do MSU, because UZ and Ndakwana. UZ was actually my second option, but Ndakwana and Jimbo. So I ended up going to MSU. So at MSU, I studied media and society studies. And then I've worked in media for a bit. I worked for 2 newspapers, and then I went into PR, and both worlds are totally different from what you're told, from what you learn. I think college is more theoretical, and then when you leave college, you are now on the ground. It's more practical. So it was yeah, my books, qualifications, they are good for you to enter into a certain organization. But to have to learn kutipana, when you come in, this is how we do things, it's a whole different thing. You start again, because each organization in Israel, so you will need, someone who's also very patient. You need people who've been in the organization who are sort of like going to hold your hand somehow and show you the ways around. For me, it was not so difficult because the people that were supervising me were not so difficult. I'm just like, hi. But anyway, it wasn't so easy to transition. And then what budgeting apps and tricks do you use to save up or invest? Maybe 2025 I need to get into this because I don't use any apps. The tricks that I use is we have monthly expenses, like I said earlier on. So we list our monthly expenses, right? And then those expenses against our income, and then we just, try to balance things out, also making sure that we have a bit of savings, a bit of money for emergencies. And yeah, but I think I need to have apps for this. But for me, for the most part, it's just, writing things down and balancing things out, basically. And then how do you do with insecurities as a content creator, like feeling whatever you are putting out there is not good enough? This is not something I struggle with. To be honest, this is not something I struggle with, because for me, what I do on YouTube, to someone who has just come across this channel, thinks, oh, this girl just picks up her phone and she shows us her life, she shows us the things that she does. But for me, there's a lot of meditation around, what I do. There's a lot of prayer to what I do. I just don't proceed. Like, I'll wake up in the morning, I'll take a walk and I'll pray. I'll say, put me in the right places so that I show what I need to show. What I don't need to share, I don't need to share. At the end of the day, I think you look at the vlogs as, oh, they're entertaining, but there's always a plug in there. There's always a lesson in there. So that's what I try. So my insecurities will never come in because already I'm confident of what I want to share with you guys. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. And then, which phone do you use to vlog, and just how are you? Oh, thank you. I'm fine, tired, but I'm fine. Like I said, I'm operating on 4 or 5 hours of sleep. I woke up around 5 today, and I slept around 12. So you can imagine. Which phone do you use? I use an iPhone 13 Pro Max. That's what I use. And then, how do you stay so consistent? I'm failing. Love your content. Okay, so consistency, I get this also a lot. I think I take this as my 9 to 5. So when I wake up, I know that per week I need to do 3 videos. So whatever I'm doing, it has to be filmed. Whatever that I'm doing that I'm comfortable to share, it has to be filmed so that at the end of the day, I have something to put up. Now, if you wait for the day that you get out of the house to vlog, you're not going to have a vlog, or you're not going to be consistent. If you wait for a phone, a gadget, whatever, the thing is just vlog, just share what you have, and then you will grow as time goes on. Because I think the most difficult thing for a lot of creators is we get into our heads and you start analyzing things and you think, oh, this angle is not right, but so and so does it like this. Let me wait until I get this. You will never be consistent. Just get into it and right? And I met my husband at a wedding. His cousin was getting married, and the girl was my friend from college. Her name is Rona. So in Rona, and we met at the wedding because he saw me nagagara high table. And then you know how when there's a wedding, the bridal team sits at the front of the venue. So he saw me and then he sent someone to get my number, and I refused with my number. So after a while, I went to the bathroom, and then he followed me on my way to the bathroom, and then we just started talking, and then I gave him my number. That's how we met. And then, hi Sharon, do you have any tips for small Zimbabwean YouTubers like us? Guys, I said I don't like the word small. I don't know if you can find another word, but I get your point. I think I've already also answered this below. Just start, just be consistent, find good lighting. And also the most frustrating thing about this YouTube thing, especially in this country, is, believe it or not, it costs money to create vlogs, to upload, to, you know, go out there and make sure that even if you're not doing lifestyle, maybe you're doing farming, you're doing tech, whatever it is, it costs money. So I think sometimes people are discouraged by that. So should I invest money into this thing? And you start questioning if it's worth it. So what I would say is it's going to be very discouraging in the beginning, but just start. And then this question says, how are you? I'm good. And what are we doing to celebrate 5K end of year? I don't know, guys. Give me suggestions. I was thinking of doing a giveaway, but I don't know. I also need something to do. I need to do something also to, you know, reward myself. So I don't know. I would appreciate any suggestions in the comment section below. And then what were your top 5 highlights for 2024 and what were some of the lows? Okay, so my top 5 highlights for 2024. I don't know if I can mention 5, but I know certainly the traveling. Guys, I'd never been on a plane my entire life. So I think the traveling, the car, definitely. Also just the growth on this platform. I don't know if I can mention all, but I know that those 3 definitely. And then the laws. What are the laws? Definitely some I'm not able to share. Not that there were many. This year has been a good year for me, guys. It has been a fantastic year, and I can only hope that 2025 will even be better. And then what are some things you're looking forward to in the new year? I think I've already spoken about that. Is your mom more close to your sister or you? I think we are equally close to mama. We just have a different relationship. Winnie has her relationship with my mom, and I also have a different relationship with my mom. How do you strike a balance of not oversharing as a lifestyle content creator and make sure your husband, sister, etc's lives are not out there too? This is a good question because if you're not careful, in the name of content, you will sell a bit of yourself, trying to, you know, fill up a vlog or trying to be relevant or trying to, you know, get clicks and likes. So I am very conscious of what I bring onto the camera. A lot of the times when I sit down to edit a vlog, the footage is like an hour and some minutes, but we end up being like maybe on 20-30 minutes because I keep cutting out things that I'm not comfortable to share. So best believe by the time you see a vlog, I've gone through the footage 4 or 5 times and I'm clear on the message and what I'm trying to deliver. And like I said, I just don't do YouTube for the sake of doing it. I believe that this is a gift, and I can tell you with the way I'm consistent, there's no way I can tell you that I do this by myself. I think that I am empowered and I am blessed to be able to be doing this. So a lot of it is very curated, it's very planned. That's why you see me eat out. That's why you see me with my friends. That's why you never see my husband on camera. Because it's not his thing, and I just prefer to keep that side of my family, you know, private. So I'm just conscious about it, I guess, to answer your question. Even with my sister and everyone else, like my family, a lot of the times, like if you see me in someone's house, if you see me visit a friend, it's either I've asked for permission to share or I'm just not going to, you know, share. And then I need to start my thrift business, also in advice. I think I've answered that. Then how do you keep yourself grounded and not allow fame to get into your head, since you are one of the biggest YouTubers in Zimbabwe, according to Umalume Kalairi? I don't think I'm the biggest, but thank you. And fame, there's no fame, my friend. For me, this is just work, and I'm just sharing my life with you guys, and there's nothing special that I think that I do. It's just that what I do to me is a Sharron on a normal day is what I just come with to you guys on camera. So I don't know how to answer this question, but I just hope, you know, I've answered it. And then how many siblings do you have? There's 3 of us. Any plans to move homes? Yes, but at some point this year we were looking for a new place, but Harare rentals will humble you. So right now we've put a pause on that. Why don't you do collaboration with other Zim YouTubers? Tirukuda Ushika 10K before January. Collabo will help us. That's true. That's very true. And again, 2025, I think that's something I'm planning on doing. I've not done like a sit-down collaboration on this platform with another YouTuber. I think because timing, it's not good. I'm pompa, so I think I can't work with people because I get this question a lot. I'm sure my questions are totally but they're a bit like, you know, invasive and a bit entitled. But I think collaborations are good. It's just that, you know, I need to find also the people that I'm comfortable to work with. I also need to be ready, and I think also it's a matter of timing. So hopefully next year we'll do more collaborations. When should we plan our trip to LA? I can look for flights. Rumbi, come to my DM. We need to plan this trip. And then how are you? I'm okay. How did you choose your niche or type of content? So I was a fashion blogger and a lifestyle vlogger before YouTube. So I just transitioned from, you know, typing long paragraphs about fashion, and then we just started creating video content because I realized that you guys consume more video content than you like to read. What's been your most memorable moment of the year? I think I've answered that. How do you come up with ideas for your videos? It's sometimes I would think of an idea and I will execute it, but most of the times it's just effortless. I am going about my day-to-day life and I just pick up my phone. How did you grow your audience? Any strategies that worked well for you? The only strategy that I think will work is your audience and authenticity. Just be yourself. Don't try to imitate the Americans. Don't try to imitate the South Africans. You start talking about slang that you don't understand, and sometimes people can't relate to you, and it just feels, you know, people can't relate. People can see through the lens if you're being fake. So yeah. What skills have you developed through YouTube? I think I've developed just my editing skills, people skills as well, because I used to run away from people. Like, right now, if you bump into me in town, I can actually have a conversation with you, but kudara ndikatoko not eye contact yako ndeyekuti wandiziya, best believe I'm running away. And that's how I would avoid people, but I realized there's no nag. I need to also talk to people because there are people who are receiving content on the other end, but it was just a me thing. I'm not, the Sharron that you see on camera and the Sharron that you see on a day-to-day could probably be different. I'm not very open to meeting new people, but this year I think I've tried to get outside of that shell. And then how do you balance YouTube with other responsibilities in your life? I plan. Like now I know I need 3 videos a week. I know there's talk that needs to go out. I know my kids, they need me at a certain time of the day, so you just need to plan. How do you handle criticism and negative comments? Guys, the only way you can learn is, you know, to get used to it with time. Kudara, if someone would attack me in the comments, we would go blow for blow in the comments. But these days, no to one comment yako, and one thing I'll do is I'll block and delete your comment. And we're not eating light and it's not that deep, no to pindura, but I won't go back and forth with you. There are people who have tried to do that with, or you can go ahead and check in the comments in the past videos. We have tried, you know, to insult me, you know, to insinuate certain things, and I've realized that also if you're not careful on this World Wide Web, you are just going to project your feelings, and we will know what's happening in your life based on what you're trying to tuka me with. I hope that makes sense. So for me, negative comments, really, criticism I can take. Like Sharron, last week, please, your sound, can you change? Can you get a mic? All of those things, I know that's constructive criticism. How do you do with creative blocks or burnout? I take breaks. Love you lots. Thank you. How old are you? I'm 33, turning 34 in December. How do you maintain your friendships? Communication. I'm trying to go those questions quickly because we're running out of time. Who and what inspired you to start a YouTube channel? So back in the day, I used to watch a lot of UK creators. Shirley, and then Patricia Bright, Jackie Aina. So I'll just see how they would create their content. And then in South Africa, I'll see Cynthia, I'll see Jessica. Those are just people I would watch, and it just inspired me to say, oh no, this blog is not doing too well. Let's move to YouTube, because at the time, that's what everybody else was also doing. And then lastly, on the questions, if you could, which person would you like to meet and why? Dead or alive, you pick. Guys, I miss my dad so much. My dad passed in 2018, and Riley was not even 1 year old at the time. And now that I've grown older, you know, you don't heal from grief. So once in a while, I will see something and I'll think, oh, I wish he was here so that we can have this conversation, or I wish you could see what we're doing, or I saw Lindy on TikTok. She traveled to Cape Town with her dad. If my dad was alive, this is something that I would have appreciated to do with him, but that's life. So those are all the questions that we had. I know that I only gave you guys less than 20 hours in 12 hours to answer me on this community tab. So I know these are not all the questions. So you can just drop in your comments in the comment section. When this video goes live, I'll be in the comments also just answering your questions. Otherwise, thank you so much guys for tuning in and watching up until this point. I will see you guys in my next one. If you're not subscribed, please make sure that you're subscribed, like this video, and make sure that you share.